Zlatan, this was how he exited. I came, I saw, I conquered. Thank you, LA Galaxy, for making me feel alive again. To the Galaxy fans, you wanted Zlatan. I gave you Zlatan. You are welcome. The story continues. Now go back to watching baseball. He had to sign off. Only Zlatan, Taylor, could sign off like that. How are we, Taylor, to judge his 2 years in MLS?
Well, I definitely thought it was properly placed within that Bank of California Stadium in that picture that Zlatan posted. I found it interesting, Adrian, Stevie, and Shaka, that when he says he conquered Major League Soccer, I get it. You scored 50 goals in 2 years. You simply did your job, but you won only one playoff game. And everywhere Zlatan went, he talked time and time again about being a winner in doing that. I just look at Zlatan's time on the field. Very few, if anyone, thought he would score 20-plus goals in back-to-back seasons, let alone 50 in 2. And yet they really struggled. So while I look at it and say, I think the Galaxy are going to be better off with Zlatan in the sense that they're going to have a player up front that's going to be a little bit more mobile. He's going to defend. The truth of the matter is the pressure is still on the Galaxy to fill that void. How are you going to fill the void of 50 goals? For me, Adrian, to answer your question, he's up there with David Beckham, if not higher than David Beckham, on bringing an awareness to the league. And what I mean by that is his personality transcended sport. It got on night talk shows that nobody in Major League Soccer's history had ever gotten there. And I'll argue with anyone, he did more for the sport than David Beckham in a short term. And I know a lot of people internally in MLS's offices, even the LA Galaxy, would almost agree with that statement because he transcended not only sports, but into pop culture. You tell me how many MLS athletes and MLS players or coaches have done that in the past. It's zero, if not one.
Already lots of talk about who the Galaxy may turn to fill a rather large void. Well, how about Edinson Cavani? He's been linked with a move to the Galaxy. When you look at his stats over the last 10 years, remember, he's still only 32, the Uruguayan. Only 6 appearances and 2 goals this season, of course, but he has scored double-digit goals for as long as you can remember, both in Ligue 1 and in Serie A. Any reason to think he wouldn't do exactly what Zlatan did and more?
Absolutely not. No, listen, he doesn't have the personality off the field that Zlatan had, but right now at 32, he has the ability.
Give me a number. How many goals would he score? Given Zlatan got whatever he did, 27,
you
28,
got to think the guy's going to get 30 goals a season.
Carlos Vela set a record this year with 34. Could he come in and challenge that record, do you think?
Listen, he's 32 years of age. He is still a striker in world football that you talk about. He's a striker in world football that could play in most teams. So he's getting 30 goals a season, no danger.
You think, I'm not absolutely certain that he gets as high as that, as Stevie does. Now, no question that Cavani is an incredible talent, but I think more reliant on service than Zlatan was. I don't think he kind of creates from nothing the way that you saw Ibrahimovic do. And as a result, and looking at the Galaxy, and you're wondering where that service is going to come from, I'm going to go 20.
Taylor, give me a number on Cavani.
Well, more important, I think Cavani will score you 20 goals, but he asked from Inter Miami, he asked for $30 million net to come to Miami. So I'm not totally sure that's going to happen. I'd keep an eye on Luis Suarez. I think Suarez could be in play with the LA Galaxy. I think they're going to make a run at him. They're going to throw out some feelers. But Suarez, keep in mind, did the deal for Nicolas Ladero to end up in Seattle. So I think if Suarez does come to Major League Soccer, he's going to want to play with Nicolas Ladero. So how does that dynamic work? And I've got to bring up the name again, Chicharito. This is the kind of move, if you've got Carlos Vela playing at LAFC and you want to make a splash, a bigger splash, I'd keep an eye on Chicharito. They'd have to trade Chicago Fire for the rights. I'm not getting into that. That's neither here nor there. But I'd keep an eye on those 3 names because I think the Galaxy are going to try to make a splash with a little bit younger player than they did with Zlatan.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.